So JDK, once you download that setup, you will get JDK and JRE, these two folders. Why? JDK is a Java development kit which requires tools to develop tools to develop application. Tools to develop application, right? And JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Why it is required? Java Runtime Environment. Java Runtime Environment, that is JRE. So to run that application, whatever the application you are having, if you Java application, to run Java application, we need JRE. What the difference? JDK is what? Java development kit. JRE is Java runtime environment. JDK, it contains the tool which are required to develop application, and whatever application is developed by the developer, to run that application, you need JRE. Okay, suppose I have created an application calculator using Java language and I want to execute that application at user end. So that user must have JRE. User must have JRE. And by using that JRE, I can execute my Java application. Yes. So basically, once you download, you will get both things. So JDK, what it contains? It contains compiler, libraries, or JRE is the interpreter. JVM itself an interpreter. Once we have written code, we used to write code in like English statements, right? Suppose I have written program, like I need to follow some syntax, and by following that syntax, I can write a program, and that program, that file is called as source file, a file which contains program syntax. Source file which contains syntax. That is what? Source file. And that source file is given, compiled, and after compilation, machine code get generated. After compilation, we'll get machine code or machine, and that machine interpreted by interpreter, and it generates dot class file. Okay, it generates dot class file. So basically, what you can say here, that source file is called as .java file. It's a .java file where you have written English statement. That English statement, after compilation and interpretation, it generates dot class file. That dot class file, it contains dot class file. It contains bytecode, and that bytecode is interpreted by the interpreter and executed on the computer. Who is responsible to read this bytecode? Interpreter. And interpreter is nothing but JVM. Interpreter is nothing but JVM. Interpreter is what? JVM, who converts your code to bytecode. And after interpreting, it executed that code on the computer. It executes this code on the computer. So here, this JVM, it is used to read the file, and it generates the whatever the dot class file. Basically, there are two files, .java and .class. So syntax or English language, whatever the statement, whatever the syntax, whatever the code we have written, that file is called as source file. And after compilation, whatever the file created, that dot class file, right? This dot class file is read by the JVM, and it is executed on the system. Okay. So .java and .class. These are the two files. Okay. So .class or .java file, it's our source code, right? And for this you need JDK, and for this you need JRE, because inside JRE, JVM is there. If you observe this diagram, JDK, it contains compiler and development tools, and JRE, it contains some configuration file and JVM. So JDK is a combination of JDK is a combination of compiler, development tools, libraries plus JRE. And JRE it contains JVM. Clear? Now here, see, JDK is mandatory. JDK, it contains different tools, JRE, JVM, and debugger tool. So JDK is required to create Java applications. JDK 1.8 is used. Right now, JDK 11 is the main market, 11 as well as 17. But we are going with JDK 1.8. What is Java runtime environment? Whenever you have created an application, to execute that application, we need JRE. JRE is what? It's a Java runtime environment which is used to execute Java application. At client side, when user wants to execute an application, JRE can be used. And JDK is what? Development kit. It is used by the, here I'll write, at developer side. Developer side, JDK is used. Can we develop application using JRE? See, can we develop application by using JRE? What is JDK and what is JRE? Yes, Tanushri. Pratiksha, what is JDK and what is JRE?
JDK is development kit and JRE is interpreter.
Suppose at user side, what I need to install? I need JDK or JRE?
JRE.
To execute application, you need JRE. To develop application, you need JDK. So by using JRE, can I develop application? I cannot, because this JRE, it contains runtime environment. It contains configuration files which are required at runtime. So we cannot develop application by using JRE. Can I compile application using JRE? No. Already that file is compiled and just interpretation is performed by the JRE. Then what is JVM? See, in the interview, there is a question. What is JDK, JRE, and JVM? Explain. JDK, JRE, and JVM. So JVM, Java Virtual Machine, it's a platform dependent. Why it is platform dependent? Java is a platform independent. JVM is platform dependent because, see, if you observe this diagram here, our source file, that source code or whatever the code you have written, that code is written in English language, right? After compilation, it is get converted to the byte code, and that byte code is converted to the machine code. By whom? By JVM. And whatever the machine, suppose here operating system, Windows is there, then I need to convert it into Windows understandable language. If Linux is there, convert it into the Linux. If it is Mac, convert it into the Mac. Means as per the operating system, it needs to convert the instructions. Are you getting? Source code is what? Whatever the file you have written, whatever the code we are going to write that code, and we need to save that file with .java extension. Compiler, that is Java C or just-in-time compiler, it compiles that code and generate .class file. The .class file, it contains byte code. That byte code is read by the JVM, and JVM will convert that byte code according to the operating system. Okay. So that's the reason Java Virtual Machine is a operating system based, means it is dependent on the operating system. Why? Because ultimately, whatever the instruction is here, it needs to convert into this OS understandable language. So if the JVM is compatible with this Windows operating system, it can read. If JVM is compatible with Linux, then it cannot read. So as per the operating system, you need to choose JVM. Java is independent, but JVM is platform dependent. Are you getting? Yes. So basically, again, there will be question. What is compiler and interpreter? What's the question? Compiler and interpreter. Compiler, it converts .java file into .class file, and this process is known as compilation, and compiler name is JIT, just-in-time compiler. Just-in-time compiler, it compiles code very fast. That's the reason speed of this compilation process is fast. Interpreter, it will convert bytecode to the particular machine code. As per voice. Right? Converting bytecode to machine code is called as interpretation. And Java virtual machine, it performs interpretation. Yes, Shivam, are you getting?
What is bytecode?
Bytecode, it's a written in different language that we cannot read. It is only understandable to the machine. So just I'll show you. So how it looks like. Suppose first project source. Okay, this is what dot Java file, right? This is dot Java file. You can read this, right? Class SBI, exchange, bank, some readable. You can read English words. This is dot class file. This this is what bytecode file. We cannot understand. This is dot class file. This dot class file, it contains this bytecode. It's not understandable. But, we cannot understand this bytecode. So this bytecode is again converted to the machine code. Alright? And that machine code means which is understandable by the computer. Clear? So
Okay.
this is dot class file, and the previous one was this is Day1, or any file you can open and you can check. Dot Java file we can understand. Dot class file we cannot understand because public class demo, at least we can read these English words. But in the bytecode we cannot do anything. Okay.
Okay.
What are the features of Java language? So Java is a simple language. Why simple language? If you know C++, in the C++, there pointers are there, operator overloading is there. Actually, as I told you in the last session, C language is the mother of all languages. Or on the top of C++ is introduced. On the top of C++, Java is introduced. So whatever the difficult features, they are removed from the Java language. Whatever the difficult one, or whatever the complicated features, they are removed from the Java. Actually, Java is built on top of the C++ only, but only like this complex terms like operating overloading, multiple inheritance, pointers. These are the features they are not supported in the Java. So multiple inheritance, we are having a separate chapter for the multiple inheritance. At that time, we'll see at the inheritance time. And pointers are nothing but these are the variables which are storing address of another. Means pointer is a term which directly communicates with your computer's memory. In short, How you will remember pointer? They can communicate with your system. So system's memory, not only system, it communicates with the memory. The platform independent. Platform independent. So platform independent means platform means what? Operating system. Java language is platform independent because who is communicating with the operating system? Platform means operating system now. Who is communicating with this operating system? JVM. So no need of that's the reason Java is platform independent. But JVM is platform dependent. Are you getting? Suppose this is Japanese machine. So there should be a Japanese person to communicate with this machine. This is Chinese machine. There should be Chinese person. If it's an Indian machine, there should be Indian person. So same. If this OS is Windows, then JVM should understand Windows. Then OS is Linux, then JVM should understand Linux. Likewise. So as per the operating system, JVM get installed. So JVM, it should be compatible with the operating system, not Java. So that's the reason Java is independent, but JVM is dependent on the platform. JVM is dependent on operating system. JVM is dependent on operating system. Okay. So our application, it can be easily executed on any machine. Suppose I have written code in my system and same code and my system, it contains Windows operating system. And Shivam, you want to execute same code in your machine. So what you will do? You can take that source file or dot class file from my system and you can execute in your machine. If the platform is same, right? Both are Windows. Then JVM is Windows. JVM is compatible with Windows. So basically, JVM is what? Platform dependent. And Java is platform independent. So that's the reason. What's the slogan of Java? Write once, run anywhere, anytime. Write once, run anywhere, anytime. You need to write code only once. Once you have written this code, you can execute that code on any machine. Suppose I have written code in my machine. I have said, and this dot class file. If I given the dot class file, and you can directly you can open in your machine and you can execute this dot class file. You can directly open or you can directly execute in your machine. Just only thing, you must have compatible JVM in your machine. So that's the reason, no need of compilation. Generally, what happens in the other languages? First, you need to write code. After that, compilation happens. Then interpretation happens. And then your code get executed. So here in Java, there is no compilation. Means compilation interpretation performs only once. So that's the reason. What is the slogan of Java? Write once, run anywhere, anytime. So Java is platform independent language. Then what about JVM? Question will be asked in the interview. Tricky question. So at that time, don't get confused. You can say Java is platform independent because rather than Java, JVM is the medium to communicate with the operating system. The architectural neutral. Well, see, if you want to download Java software, right? If you want to download Java software, then no need of any particular configuration. Like Java does not require it should have 2 GB RAM or like processor or any memory or hard disk size. It doesn't require. On any configuration, Java application or Java software you can install. It does not require any particular configuration. Architectural neutral means architecture. Whatever the architecture of your machine, you can download and you can use. It does not require any specific configuration. It does not require any specific architecture. You can directly execute on any machine. That's the reason it is called as architectural neutral. Clear? Portable. As a portable means what? What's the meaning of portable? Meaning of portable?
Movable.
Movable, right? So once you have written code, once you have written, suppose I have code is written in my system. You can take it in pen drive or I can send you over the mail and you can execute in your machine. That is also possible. Means no need of any compilation, just you need a particular setup and you can directly execute. That is what? Portable. So Java is portable language. You can move which file? Important. Dot class file, not dot Java. Dot class file. So you can carry that dot class file from one place to another place. So that's the reason Java language is called as portable language. Multi-threading. Whenever you want to create an application which want to perform multiple tasks, right? So right now, suppose multi-threading or multitasking means what? Performing multiple tasks at a time. See what I'm doing right now? I'm delivering session. I'm writing notes. I'm drawing some diagrams. It's at the same time I'm doing multiple activities. That is what? Multi-threading. It's known as multi-threading. So Java, it supports multi-threading. It supports multiple tasks to be performed at the same time. So what's the example of multi-threading? Attending meeting or listening music, sending mail. So multi-threading is supported in Java. Multi-threading or multitasking you can say. Multi-threading or multitasking is performed or that kind of application is possible in Java. Okay. Secure. Java does not support pointers. What is pointer? Pointer is nothing but which is used to communicate with the memory. There are different attacks which can be performed on memory. Like attacker, what he will do? He will add some malicious code in your memory. So what will happen? Your memory will get corrupt. You can lose your data. So Java, as it does not support pointers. Pointer, what they used to do? They used to communicate with the memory. But as Java, it does not support pointers. Means Java applications, they cannot communicate with your memory. So there is a less chances of attack on memory or data loss or vulnerability. So Java language is secure language. Java is secure language. As I told you, if I want to create web-based application, I can use JSP, I can use Servlet, I can use Spring Boot and microservices. So nowadays, Spring Boot and microservices, they are two popular or mostly used frameworks in the industry. Why? It reduces the burden on the programmer as well as you can develop the code within less time. That is what? That's the reason Spring Boot and microservices are popular in the market. And with the help of Google and Amazon, they are using Spring Boot microservices to run their system. That's the reason you can create distributed applications by using Java language as well. You can create, you can use distributed applications. You can create distributed applications by using Java language. Okay. Robust means, what's the meaning of robust?
Strong.
So Java language is a strong language. That means in Java, there are a number of features, and due to that feature, Java becomes a strong language. Previously, in C language or C++, what happens is, suppose if you know what's memory, memory is nothing but every system, every system it's having memory, input output devices, memory, everything available in the system. Okay, IO devices, suppose input output, mouse, keyboard, okay, then stack registers to store the data, then having memory, then it can have hard disk, right? So here you can see, yeah, every machine is having input output devices. Then it can have register and memory. It can have registers, can have motherboard, then memory. Cache memory. And here, this IO devices or memory or registers, they can communicate with the system. They can communicate with the system. And this memory, which feature garbage collection, means in C and C++, if I create variable, variable is nothing but which stores value. Variable which stores value. Okay, if I say X is a variable, X is a variable and it stores 10 and its address. Variable is nothing but it's a container, like a tiffin, like a box. Box, it can have name, it can have value, it can store data, or it can store some material. Box, I'm saying. Suppose X is a box, X is a container, X is a variable. What it stores? It stores value. Which value? 10. 10 is a integer value. And in memory, there are addresses. Like suppose in an apartment, there are n number of 250 or 300 flats are there. So every flat, it's having particular name. And address as well, name as well as address. So same in memory as well, it can have address as well as name. So if I created this variable in memory, once I create this variable, it gets created inside the memory. It's get created in the memory. Suppose I have used this X for 2 to 3 times. Now I don't want this variable. If I create thousands of variables, I can store in the memory. 2000 plus. After few days, what will happen? There will be no space. Whenever you are using mobile on Google Photos or in your mobile as well, it shows storage full, storage full. So at that time, you need to delete unwanted photos, unwanted videos from your mobile, means from your mobile's memory. And you are doing it manually. You need to do that. Automatically, your phone will not do. You need to clear your memory. But in Java, whenever it founds a particular variable, it is no longer in use, it automatically removes that value, it removes that variable from the memory. That is what garbage collector, garbage collection. And that garbage collection is performed by garbage collector. There are a number of points which are related to the memory management. That's the reason Java language is called as robust language. Right? That's the reason Java language is called as robust language. Clear? Hmm? High performance. Java language, it performs like say, As I told you, it uses just-in-time compiler. This compiler, it compiles the code. It compiles the code and it executes the code at very fast. So that's the reason it gives high performance. Performance. How you are going to calculate performance? How to calculate performance? Performance is nothing but, suppose you are using mobile, and if it's taking and you want to open WhatsApp, but while opening WhatsApp, if it is taking 5 minutes to open, you get irritated and you are saying my mobile is not working properly, or mobile is hanging again and again. Means your mobile is giving poor performance. And if you click on WhatsApp, and if it opens within a millisecond, then what we can say, mobile performance is very high. So performance same. So due to the just-in-time compiler, whatever the application written in Java language, it is get compiled and executed by the system very fast. That's the reason Java gives high performance. What is dynamic? As I told you, automatically it removes the data from the memory. That's the reason it's a dynamic one. Who will explain this compiled and interpreted language? I have already explained this point. Yes, compiled and interpreted language. Pratiksha, what is compilation? What is interpretation? Are you there? Pratiksha, Sneha, what is compilation and what is interpretation? Yes.
Um,
Hmm? Compilation and interpretation.
Interpretation will convert byte code to particular machine code.
Interpretation. Compilation and interpretation.
compilation means converting Java code into byte code, and interpretation means converting byte code into machine code.
Hmm. So Java language is compiled and interpreted language. Okay, what are the features of Java language? One by one.
बसती का चेक करायला
So what is JVM? What is yes, Shivam? JDK, JRE, JVM. What is JDK?
JDK is a Java development kit. It contains development tools and JRE
Hmm.
and JRE is used for execution in the client computer and
JVM, Java Virtual Machine.
yeah,
Java Virtual Machine, which is used to convert your bytecode to machine code. Or
machine code means
machine code means ASCII value, move, then sub, add, assembly language. Assembly language that is known as machine language,
not binary.
not by. Sorry. That one is binary and move and that is what assembly. Machine language 0 1 only.
JVM converts into binary code,
Huh.
machine code.
Yes. Yes. Any doubt or questions? I'm sending these notes in the group. Yes, are you there? The proof
On last day class
notes.
notes.
Yes. Sending that one. The proof. Yesterday introduction was there. Tanushri, Pratiksha, any doubt or questions? If you have any questions or doubt, you can ask.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm sending in the group 102. Send. Okay. So today we will stop and tomorrow we'll continue.